Yeah.
I think we're okay.
Thank you for taking your time. How are you?
I'm doing good. Well rested. This tour has been, kind of a whirlwind. We're doing, what is it, like 18 shows in 20 days, 23 days or something like that. So it's it's one after another, right? So it's like you got to take care of yourself, get lots of sleep, drink lots of water, stay healthy.
So did you get a chance to enjoy the Netherlands so far, or?
It's just survival every day for me. It's like get up, make sure I have 3 cups of coffee, get in, take care of the biz, loosen the tendons, get ready for the show, and if I'm lucky, I get to go out and walk around and see the city or wherever we're at. Usually a parking lot.
Well, at least here you have a cafe, and
Yes.
the grass is always greener here. Right.
Right. I kind of like Seattle. I understand. I might have to go visit that shop.
That's just downstairs. So.
Yeah.
I heard the show tonight is sold out.
Yes, I guess it is. It's sold out. Yeah, it's this is a great area for Queensrÿche and hard rock, and power metal. So it's great that we can come here and play to a sold out show.
Yeah, how does it make you feel?
Well, it gives us hope that there's that there's audiences out there that still want to see live music that matters to them. And for us, we do a lot of touring. We're doing over 100 shows this year, and it's great for us. We're really thankful that we can come to a place and it's where you get a notice 2 weeks in advance that it's sold out. So that's always a good thing.
You said it gives you hope.
Yes, I think with any band, you want to be able to keep touring. There's a lot of congestion in the market these days, and all the bands are touring right now. So, for any band to do sellouts, that's in hard rock, progressive rock, metal, it's always a good thing.
So it makes you feel excited, or?
Oh yeah, are you kidding? Because and you see it in the shows. Every show that we're doing, it's just the kids are just hungry for it, and it's what we're noticing at Queensrÿche shows is that we have varied ages of people now. We have we've been around a while. I won't deny that, and so we have fans that are just familiar with the last 2 records, and then we've got the fans that have been with us since the 80s, and then we've got their offspring, and then we've got so we got like younger people and middle-aged, and then we've got the the hardcore people that have been there from the beginning. So it's a good varied audience that we have, and we're fortunate to have that.
And because of that mixed audience, do you feel that albums are received well?
Yes, I think that's for young kids in this day and age, it's always there's the curiosity factor. It's like they hear of bands that have musicianship, and they want to check them out. And we're one of those bands that gets checked out a lot by the younger kids. So and they have their reasons, and we're all for it.
So in that sense, you're sort of rejuvenating.
Yes, it's almost reciprocal in a sense. It's maybe the old Queensrÿche fans, their kids were hearing the music in the womb, and they came, and now they're in their teen years, and now they automatically like the music.
It clicks.
Oh yeah.
So, apart from being the lead guitarist in one of the most popular bands in the world in many generations, if you met someone in a bar, how would you introduce yourself?
I think when I'm not doing this, I try and be as normal as possible. I try and if someone asks what I do, I just say I'm a musician. I don't try and exploit myself or anything. I just try and keep it neutral. I think when you're out here and you're kind of in a high profile situation all the time, when I'm back home, I kind of like to blend in and just,
Yeah.
take it easy.
There's no bus parked outside.
Right, right, and so it's for me. When I'm at home, I'm kind of a normal guy. So, like you and I, we could just hang out and we wouldn't even have to talk about Queensrÿche.
Yeah. But what do you do talk about?
Anything. I've got friends. I like to golf, so I talk about golf a lot.
Yeah, I saw a picture with a bunker in there.
And then I relate to that. There's many similarities that I can pull into the techniques of guitar, as far as regiment, practicing, and technique.
Yeah, it just takes effort.
It takes effort, and mainly, as you get older, like the tendons in the arms, you got to stretch them out and everything. Golfers have to do that too.
You said you've been touring around Europe for about another week, and then you're heading off to other continents.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a whole tour. Which tolls have the road been taking on you so far?
So far, I'm doing pretty good. Other than the traditional jet lag coming over here, the long flights and everything, those kind of tire you out. But I'm doing good. No one's gotten sick. There's really been no problems. It's been a very smooth tour. So yeah, when we're done here, we fly back to the U.S. and do some festivals, and then we get ready to go to Japan, and we're doing the Loud Park Festival, and then from there we're going to Australia and doing a tour there, and then back to the U.S. and then we're going to do a fall-winter tour with Armored Saint, and that leads us to December. I think December 16th is our last show of the Conditioned Human tour.
Yeah. It's been almost a year since the album came out.
Mm-hmm.
So how's it been received, and how is...
It's for us, it's success. With every release, you hope that the latest release outsells the previous one, and we've done that. And the record company's happy, they're pleased, and we've done a few videos, and I think we're going to do one more video, maybe two more videos for this album. So
any hints to which songs?
It's maybe the third or fourth song on the album. I can't remember.
Because you mix it up all the time.
Right, and this album, it's been well received. For us, we've charted in different countries that Queensrÿche has not charted in like 15, 20 years. So, we're very pleased with that, and we know that things are moving in the right direction for Queensrÿche.
So you've played the biggest stages with the largest bands and released over dozens of records.
Mm-hmm.
Reached more than most musicians can ever dream about. What are your dreams? What do you dream about?
For me, I'm the person that's always thinking about the next day or the next project or what I'm going to do next. I'm always, I'm that kind of a guy. I don't live in the now. I'm always thinking ahead. And for me, it's, everything's a work in progress. So I'm always just looking for opportunity and to refine myself maybe.
Even more?
Yeah, I think as you get older, you refine yourself. You refine your technique, your playing, your way of handling yourself. So I just try to stay in control.
Not any stage that you haven't played yet that you want to...
Well, those are inevitable. I know that those are going to happen. So I know the touring is going to take me. I've already played big stages. I've played the Grammys. I've won a MTV Viewer Choice Award. I've got
what's
10
still on your
gold
bucket
and platinum records.
But what's still on your bucket list?
You know, to go someplace where Queensrÿche hasn't played would be like maybe New Zealand, China. I don't know. You know, it's just we'll see what happens.
What's your biggest fear then?
I don't live in fear. You know, I just hope that that the music industry continues and stays strong, even if it goes underground, especially the hard rock metal contingency of fans. I think it's not in the mainstream right now, but it's there.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll ever go away. I think there's so many passionate listeners that follow these different genres of music. You know, the power metal, progressive metal, hard rock, power rock, whatever you call it. So, that's something that's always going to be there, whether you like it or not.
So you've been around for almost 3 decades. Aren't you afraid you're going to run out of ideas?
No. I mean, it's for me. I'm a very right-brained person, so I'm very visual, and every day I can come up with ideas. It's just a matter of sorting them out and seeing which ones are good and which ones are,
And what inspires you then? Where do these ideas come from?
Well, a lot of it is just not knowing that it's happening. It's like getting out of the way of something that's happening. Sometimes it's being in an adverse situation, like you're pissed off or something, and you're not really thinking about what you're playing, but all of a sudden you start playing something really cool, or you're just kind of in a zone, right? For me, like as a musician, a musician has to get into that next level, and when you're on that plane, you see everything, you hear everything, and then it's just a matter of grabbing it and relating it to, what makes sense to you, maybe. And for me, as I get older, if I don't record it quickly, it's gone.
Lost forever.
Yeah. Collective consciousness, someone else grabs it. So,
in a sense, music is sort of an extension of yourself.
I think it is. I'm just an artistic person. I'm not an accountant.
No.
I'm artistic. So, and that's what I do. And I've made a living out of it, and I'm gonna keep doing it.
So, how do you whip up ideas for new riffs?
Like I said, it's being in the right frame of mind, I guess.
Yeah.
It's,
So do you constantly write, or
yes, there's constantly ideas. There's constant inspiration from whatever I do, and there's key things that you go and that sparks your mind that it might be special, and you put it down, and it's like constantly changing your area. Like I'm in a different country now, and I'm in a different room, and it's a different condition. So I know I'm going to probably come up with a different type of an idea here, and I'm going to try and document it. It may be good, it may be a throwaway.
How do you do that? Do you capture that like on tape or?
Yeah, we all have our laptops with our digital audio workstations, and we have our ways of recording them. So all these bits are on hard drives, and then it's like a big jigsaw puzzle. You put them all together.
Have to put it all together, yeah. So the first time I actually heard of Queensrÿche was back in '93 with The Real World.
Oh yeah.
That was co-written by Michael Kamen.
Yes.
And even 3 years earlier, you've recorded Silent Lucidity with him as well.
Mm-hmm. A brilliant man, so creative. I can't say enough about the guy. And we were very fortunate to work with him because when we did the album The Warning, the producer was James Guthrie, and he had just worked on The Wall, and he had just worked with Michael Kamen. And he turned Michael Kamen onto us, and we were fortunate to have him work on a couple of our records.
What could potentially be an interesting topic for a concept album?
I don't know if Queensrÿche is going to do another concept album. It's once you've done one that has been so successful, it's like You know, let's let it be, and let's see what else happens. You know, I'm more about let's grab chaos and see what comes of it, and we'll make it. If it's conceptual, if it's thematic, if it's just songs, whatever it is, it will be.
Just to keep on creating new ideas and
Right.
forming.
If you pre-plan anything, you know, it sometimes it doesn't go so well. So if you say you're going to do a prog record or a pop record or a conceptual record, it's, you know, you're limiting yourself. It's more about creative freedom and writing what everybody in the band is cohesively putting together creatively.
Because you work separately, and then at some point your ideas come together.
Exactly. You know, and it's the modern day. You know, everybody's got their laptops and they're grabbing their ideas, and then we're putting them up on Dropbox, and everybody's pulling them down and importing them, and everybody's putting their own ideas into them, and it's exciting because you're taking something that may have been just a riff or a vocal line or a 20-second demo, and it comes out into something amazing.
It starts to grow, and it can go in any direction.
Exactly. That's what's cool about being in a band. Seeing, taking the strengths of all the people in the band and making something cool.
Yeah, and then piling up on new ideas and actually triggering one riff triggers another one.
Right. When it's just one person saying, this is the way it has to be, then you're confined, and it's not a good creative outlet. But when everybody's has the availability to input their ideas and everybody interprets them their way, that's when the magic happens.
Yeah, because that's when that little spark that the two of you individually couldn't think of comes together. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
where growth is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know time-wise, but if you could go back in time, what would the one single piece of advice be to your younger 18-year-old self?
Wow. I mean, there's so many coulda, woulda, shoulda things that you've done, but I think more on not the creative side, but I say more on the business side. I think I would have changed some things a little sooner.
And is that also advice you would give other young, striving musicians?
I think, this day and age for musicians, it's, the business side of it it's a tough road.
Yeah, it's completely flipped around.
It's a real tough road, so you got to be smart about it.
So what's your advice to the young guys?
Well, if you got something good, you got something that people like, that and people believe in you, just persevere. Keep going at it till you hit something, till you hit gold.
And if you travel forward
Into the future?
In the future, because you are living in the future.
Um,
Travel forward. Where are you when you're 80?
Wow. If I was able to travel into the future, I could do so much damage in the stock market.
I've seen that movie too. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Oh, actually, it's back.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a scary thing. If anybody had that power,
So
I'd go back and invent the internet. I don't know. Crazy things, crazy thoughts.
crazy thoughts. Well, rest his soul, David Bowie also had various thoughts on what the internet was. He saw music going in a certain direction, and how does it change the world for you as a musician? How
I
do you?
think the music industry is just evolving.
Yeah.
You
And how are you
can't
going to stay on
stop
top
it.
of that?
You can't stop it. It's just gonna keep changing. It's always gonna be changing. So you just got to adapt to it the best that you can.
So be as adaptive. That's also one of the things you want to give young musicians.
Well, the young musicians, they're already connected.
Yeah.
They know what's going on. So I think it's everybody that's falling behind. They're the ones that need help.
How did your sound develop actually over the years? Because I've heard that it's actually with Condition Human you're sort of gone full circle in terms of speed and sound.
Yeah, it's taking, you know, the strongest elements of everybody in the band, and you know, you've got the DNA of the original people now united and cohesively writing together. So it does capture a bit of, you know, the essence of the way that we recorded the older albums, and it's you know, it takes somebody like a producer, you know, to recognize that, and to recognize, you know, subtle strengths that happened in those older albums, to try and, hey, let's try this now, you know, the way you used to do this, or the way you used to play the drums this way, or the way you used to play the guitar this way. There's all these things that our producer awakened, and you know,
And it's old ideas that have been parked, that are now rejuvenated.
parked in a hard drive somewhere back there, and, you know, reallocated, and you know, it's just a way of approaching the music. It's an attitude.
So looking forward after Condition Human, where do you think it'll go?
I don't know. It's all in the name of chaos with this band. You know, it's anything can happen. The music will start happening. There'll be a direction, and then you can,
You sort of capture it.
right. Then you can kind of say, okay, it's kind of going in this direction. But right now, it's all out, being, you know, put together and put on hard drives.
All collected together.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Any
Thank
last words for the eager fans watching?
Yeah, if any of the fans are curious about Queensrÿche, you can go to queensrycheofficial.com, and Queensrÿche Official Facebook. All the media stuff is on there. And support live music, because that's what matters.